Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking from up front here. Y'all just sit on back and relax.
You can be my wingman anytime.
There's someone on the wing. Something.
We're winging it, Jerry.
Wing it?
Wing it.
We can't all just wing it.
I need a wingman. You can be my wingman.
You gotta have a wingman.
Welcome to the Wingmen, a podcast with James Clemens Jets Sports squarely in the crosshairs, with your hosts Captain Kirk Pierce, Coach Johnny Lone Star Johnson, and Coach Brad Homebrew Kimbrew.
Let's kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy.
Hold on to your butts.
Don't go away. The Wingmen will be right back.
At Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistreaux brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel Lab in Madison your first call. Apparel Lab will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
Are pests invading your home or business? Mosquitoes embedded on your property? Maybe excessive crawl space moisture has attracted unwanted visitors. Then call RedHawk Pest Control, offering residential and commercial pest control, mosquito and brown recluse management, stinging insect control, foundation vents, and many other services to North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. RedHawk aims to be more than just a service provider. They want to build a long-term relationship with each customer. Call RedHawk Pest Control at 256-975-8817. Visit them on Facebook or online at redhawkpestcontrol.com.
Whether you're an experienced golfer or a total beginner, Madison Golf Center has the largest, most up-to-date practice range in North Alabama, including a complete teaching center with the best and most experienced instructional staff available at your convenience. Madison Golf Center features the most complete driving range facility around, with a large grass tee area allowing for 100 hitting stations a day with a 14-day rotation. Open every day year-round and located at 401 Lime Quarry Road, between Wall Triana and Hughes Road. Madison Golf Center.
Ready to show off your film IQ? Ready to show it off during James Clemens football? Maybe it sounds like trying to mix oil and water, but hey, we're just trying to have a little fun. Listen for our in-flight movie quote during James Clemens football coverage on PAS+. We'll slip in a line at some point during our play-by-play commentary, and if you can identify the movie that it's from, text the answer along with your name to 434-1PAS. That's 434-1727, and you could win a $10 credit from Honest Coffee Roasters in Madison. The in-flight movie quote from Honest Coffee Roasters and PAS+.
We're back with more of the Wingmen on PAS+.
What's up, Jet Nation? This is Kirk Pierce, your host for the Wingman Podcast. It's your one-stop shop for all things James Clemens Jets, where we're diving into the deep world of our favorite high school football team, breaking down games, analyzing plays, and interviewing the players and coaches who make it all happen. So buckle up, Jets fans. It's game time. And join me, as always, here at Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Highway 72 in Madison. Head coach for James Clemens Baseball, Johnny Lone Star Johnson.
Hey.
Head coach for James Clemens Softball, Brad Homebrew Kimbrew.
That's me.
Producer extraordinaire, Tim Oz Lambert.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
And our chief statistician. How about that? Carson Stretch Austin. You know, and I got to tell you.
That sounded fancy.
It did. I got to tell you, Carson, I was typing this up today, and we missed an opportunity.
Oh, did we?
It could have also been Stone Cold.
I thought about that with the last name like Austin. I did.
Stone Cold Stretch Austin.
Stone Cold Stretch Austin.
We could go with Stretch Cold. Cold Stretch Austin.
Cold Stretch
There's a couple
Austin.
ways you could go with that.
Don't want to get hurt getting stretching when you're cold.
Yeah.
Ever since I figured out who Steve Austin was, it's been every single time just always thinking about that.
Yeah, see? Look at there. Well, guys, we've got one game under our belts. Well, we don't.
One football game.
one football game.
Well, we did.
This
We
is
were
our
there.
third podcast. We broadcast 2 prior, trying to get ramped up for this past Friday night. As you all are aware, hopefully, James Clemens got a victory Friday night against the visiting Gardendale Rockets.
Good win.
It was a good win, 17-10, the final score, guys. And we're going to have some football players here in a little bit. We're going to have offensive coordinator here in just a little bit. We'll talk deep dive into the football game. But right now, I kind of wanted to, talk a little bit about the game, y'all's thoughts, what we were able to see, and kind of where we're moving forward, because we get a bye week, which is a little odd in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, this early.
Yeah, you play one game, you're pumped up for it, and then all of a sudden you got to take a break.
Well, considering our opponent in 2 weeks, I'm not upset about the bye week.
Sure,
but
that is a positive.
You ask about the game. What did we not see out of it? Right, we got to see some trickery. We got to see the multiplicity in our offense, which we knew it would be. We got to see multiplicity in a new scheme defensively. We saw new faces. And then, Coach Johnson kept alluding to it during the broadcast that veteran offensive group, whether at the offensive line, you got backs, you got receivers. So there's a veteran group there. And Coach McGee talked about it on the podcast a few weeks ago, just that particular group of seniors that he's been with going into year 4 now. I think different times of the game, we saw those guys kind of take charge of the game, and whether that be offensively or defensively, but certainly – late in the game offensively, those guys are the ones that dictated what was going to happen on the field.
Well, and I also think that, and this is something we'll get in, Coach Truitt's going to be on the podcast now. I guess I gave that away.
I did say offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator.
It's already been posted. So.
Well, that's true. That's true. So I'm not giving away any secrets, but I just think it'll be interesting to talk to him about what he thought about the offense because, I thought we played clean for the most part. There was a few times there late in the game where we had some penalties that hurt, but those were some personal fouls and just stupidity. But as Coach McGee referred to it, but I think it'll be interesting to see his take on Gill, the quarterback, and his first varsity start as a transfer coming in, and just he was a tick off here or there, and I just think. As good as the offense looked at times, it's going to be a lot better once he gets used to the speed of the varsity game because his athleticism, he's going to play. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see his take on that tonight.
So, Carson, what we want to do right now, bring you into the loop because you're our chief statistician.
There we go.
And you did a great job Friday night kind of getting us the stats at halftime and to close the game. But just kind of wanted to kind of look at the stats from an offensive side right now and just kind of remind our listeners where offensively we stood with our stats.
All right, well, first of all, we have quarterback Jacoby Gill, as previously mentioned, 12 of 18 passing for 93 yards, 3 carries for 3 yards on the ground. Leading rusher MJ Gideon, 13 carries, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns, one of them a 61-yarder, 3 catches for 43 yards as well. Cam Berry, a 50-yard pass on a trick play, 9 carries for 55 yards and a catch for 13. A.J. Little, who caught the 50-yard pass, 2 catches for 49 yards. And then Alex Lively, 4 catches, 39 yards. And then finally, Ty Doty, 3 catches, 7 yards, 2 carries for 3 yards.
Appreciate that, Stretch. And we're going to have Cam here in just a little bit when Coach Truitt comes on. And I want to talk a little bit about, MJ Gideon had those 2 touchdowns. He had the 2-yard touchdown, I believe, in the first quarter. And then
the big run.
And then the big run, the 61-yarder that put us up, 14 to, I think it was 14-7 at the time.
It was 14-7.
Yeah. So, but Cam Berry's going to come in, and we talked about those yards that he got. Of course, he threw a huge pass to start it off.
But just a workhorse.
And we're going to deep dive into that. But the closing run that he did. And
it's made highlights on. It's going viral online, man.
And really the drive.
Absolutely.
MJ Gideon's stats, statistically, he becomes a player of the game for us and had a great game. But, like you talked about, Cam was that workhorse that kept everything going, kind of makes everything click. Without Cam as a threat and a weapon and getting those hard yards, Gideon doesn't have that kind of night.
No, 100%. And then we'll have Coach Truitt on here in just a little bit, and we could talk about all those different weapons that he had Friday night. And then, of course, we know that Doty probably didn't have the Doty nights that we're used to, but there's reasons behind
They'll
that.
come.
They're coming.
Yeah, he's getting in playing shape. I mean, they had him limited, coming off that rehab deal and, healthy. It's just a matter of getting in football playing shape. And so they were very limited in what they did in a non-region game early in the year to make sure he's good and healthy for week 3.
Absolutely.
When we see the other schools.
Smart coaching.
It is smart coaching. Well, hey, listen, you can follow the JC Wingmen on Threads, Instagram, and X, and also look for the Wingmen on Facebook. We'll keep you updated on scores via Score Stream all throughout the week. We usually do that on Friday nights as well, try to keep you updated as to what's going on. But what we want to do right now is we want to bring in one of our favorite segments. And it's where we get to talk to the people at Walk-Ons, because we are at Walk-Ons. We do. We're at Walk-On Sports Bistreaux right here on Highway 72 in Madison, and they are such gracious hosts. Get us here and allowing us to broadcast live here each and every Tuesday night. And you're more than welcome to join us. I'm sure they would love to have you come in and listen to us. So
we've had a little crew just about every week.
We try to.
We've had our own
Small
little party. Yeah.
We need to grow the crowd that comes and joins us.
We do.
I think what we might need to look into is a way to broadcast this live to a portion of the dining room. That may.
Well, when it's not 104, maybe on the patio.
That's a good idea.
That's a great idea. Well, then let's talk to the man who could possibly make that happen. Josh Rogers with Walk-Ons. Josh, welcome aboard, man. Thanks for coming in.
Josh.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, man. So lots of things we've talked a couple of weeks in a row. We talked to Stephanie last week. I'm just going to come out with this.
Uh-oh.
She wouldn't tell us the secret, man. I'm just going to hit you with it.
Man, do you want me to lead with that?
I want you to lead with the secret. You're not closing out. Okay. I want to know what she wouldn't tell us. I'm the kid at Christmas that wants the presents the moment they're bought.
Okay.
So I need to know, man. The secret, she wouldn't tell us there's an upcoming promotion, and so Josh is going to tell us.
Oh, yeah. She's worried about letting too many of them out of the bag.
She was.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so we get a little, I guess we'll call it local celebrity coming here Sunday.
Brad Kimbrough.
So, so yeah, no pro games this week. So we've got Amobi Okoye. It's going to be here Sunday.
Okay. Are you kidding?
From 11 to 7. We're doing a give back for his foundation all day. So we're going to do 10% of sales. We're going to go back to his foundation here locally. Everybody knows, he's a 07 league graduate.
Yeah.
Youngest player ever drafted still in NFL history.
Didn't know that.
So a little fun tidbit there for you guys. Yeah, but his foundation is incredible. Obviously, he spends a lot of time here in this area and also back in Houston from where he played for the Texans for 4 years.
Yeah.
But his foundation supports locally education, sports, and the mitigation of hunger in the community. So awesome. He takes his foundation and kind of, supports multiple different things in the community, not just, sports or education. And, we're super excited to be able to finally have the opportunity to do something like that.
And so give the details. It's what day, what time?
So it's going to be this coming Sunday. Starts at 11 and ends at 7. And I do know that he's going to be here signing autographs and kind of spending time with guests and just kind of, hanging out. And
so almost all day long you're going to have opportunity to come in and contribute to.
So 10% of sales that day?
10% of sales that day. Yep.
Man, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
And that'll stay here in the community through his foundation.
Man, that's great that you guys are doing that.
Yeah.
And that's excited. What was it Cody that was on the first week?
Yeah.
Yep.
Talked about how walk-ons is really big and getting involved in the community and doing those kind of things. So this is an example, obviously, with a local celebrity, as you called it.
Absolutely.
It's not Brad Kimbrough, but, it'll do.
It's close.
And,
I'm working on my foundation, okay? I'm working on it.
Hey, there you go. Well, so we've got another one as well, though.
Listen.
So tomorrow night, we actually are hosting Sparkman Middle School, and we're doing a give-back night for them.
Okay.
So that'll be from 4:30 to 8:30 tomorrow evening. We're doing sales 10% again. To support the middle school there.
Okay.
And then in September, we're doing, I want to say she said, Monrovia, and then Legacy. And then we're doing, I believe, Endeavor a month after that. So she's got them, she's really in charge. It's not me.
Stephanie does a great job.
Y'all already talked to the important people.
Well, it sounds like from that she's working Harvest over, but we got to get her in Madison, right?
I tell you, man.
Hey, man.
I mean, those are all like Harvest schools.
Y'all get us south of 72.
Got to get in on the county line, man.
We got to get her on county line.
County line.
But that's awesome. I mean, because, look, schools are always looking for ways to raise funds, especially for whether it's athletics or extracurriculars of all types. And,
sure.
And so for them to have something like this where they can come and y'all will donate back to them is huge.
Well, the great thing about that, too, is, I mean, if you and I come in here and have dinner, it's not costing you and I anything more than it would normally to come in and have dinner.
walk-ons is the one.
Walk-ons is the one.
Yeah.
Right. So you're getting to come in and enjoy this great environment, have a wonderful meal, and help a cause, and walk-ons is doing the work for you.
And did we decide how many TVs? 80-something?
So that's kind of the running thing, Josh, is we really need.
Hey, Stephanie had a number last week. I just don't remember what it was.
Cody had a different one.
So we should make a game out of this.
That's what I'm
saying. We won't
saying.
say the actual number tonight.
Okay.
We need to figure out a way to
Somebody write
some
that
kind
down.
of game.
Guess the number of TVs.
Yeah.
And then whoever comes in and shows up and guesses the correct number.
Dude,
of
now
TVs.
you know what they're going to do. They're just going to come in.
Come in
say
here
they
and
gotta
count
go
the
to
TVs.
They're going to come in and say they got to go to the bathroom and then just walk around and count on them.
But they're everywhere. They're in the bathroom. There's one hidden over there.
We got a
Okay.
And we got an official statistician. We can send Stretch around.
There you go.
I'm always counting.
There may be some hiding in the back. We can
Never
include
know.
that in the total.
I like it.
Well, I mean, do you guys do the cooks? Do they have do they have TVs with the orders?
So they don't. We have a to-go camera system.
See
that we can include that kind of in the pile though.
I think you should.
So
can't make it easy.
Yeah, no, not at all.
That is wild.
So Josh, how long have you? We talked about this when we first met a couple of weeks ago. But how long have you been with Walk-Ons?
So I joined Walk-Ons actually last May.
Okay.
I used to live down in New Orleans, and always said that if I ever lived somewhere where they brought the brand to the community, I definitely wanted to be a part of it. So, I was down the street for 2 years previously, and I saw the building go up. I was like, man, that looks cool. What is that? And then they put the sign up. I was like, oh, man. And then just by circumstance, I got a phone call and didn't think it was going to work out, actually. They'd already found the guy. And 2 weeks went by, and they called back and said, hey, you still want to do this? I said, absolutely. And that was last May. And, of course, we had the long turmoil until February of this year.
Yeah.
But, super excited.
You've been packed and busy ever since, though.
Ever since.
I pulled in tonight, man. I was running a little bit behind and pulled in, and I didn't coming in on this side. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to find a parking place.
It may be hard to find a spot to park in here because, they're always packed out.
They are, and you talk about the servers and everybody that just friendly faces that keep us going. Brad, I know you had something different to eat tonight. What was it?
Tonight was the chicken bomber, and it may have been the best sandwich that I have ever had.
I had that last week. It is really, really good.
I had
We both
did. The
ahi tuna bowl. And
man,
it was outstanding.
Very light, very refreshing.
Well, I went ahead and ruined it with red beans and rice side again because I can't get away from that. And we did the skillet, little chocolate chip cookie with ice cream on it.
So, Josh, I got to be honest with you. First night we were out here, and I went ahead and I had that bread pudding.
Yeah.
And then I had it the following week. And then that was when it came.
Then I had it the following week.
No, that is when I had a revelation.
It's coaxed him into a diet in the
Kirk's
gym.
got to have a diet. Because if I keep coming here every Tuesday night eating that bread pudding, dude, I'm out.
He's got to go get a lift in a mile before he comes.
Dude, it was crazy.
It's so good.
Well, Josh, this is one of the. I know you've got to run. I see some of the servers coming over here talking to you.
He is working.
You actually have a job.
Yeah.
We're keeping you from it. But what we try to do, we started this last week with Stephanie, and I'm just going to hand this to you.
And none of us have seen this.
Yeah. So this is our first. We started it last week, and this is all generated by AI, and it's AI trying to be funny.
Okay.
So it's the top 5 reasons tonight.
What's the reasons?
Top 5 reasons American football is the greatest sport ever. You ready? Hit it.
Here we go.
Number 5.
Here we go.
All right, number 5, the drama. The fake punts, the surprise onside kicks, the last-second field goals. It's a soap opera with pads and the helmets, and we love every minute of it.
Look at that. Look at that. Here we go.
Number 4.
All right, the quarterback's dilemma. Is he a god or a goat? One bad throw, and he's a national villain. One good pass, and he's a living legend. It's a high-stakes game of chicken or egg.
See, that makes me giggle. I got nothing else. That just makes me giggle.
You had the chicken, and I had the egg on my burger.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Number 3.
All right, the dance of giants. Watching 300-pound men gracefully pirouette and twirl on the field is a true spectacle. It's like ballet, but with more helmets and less tutus.
That's my favorite part of the game, anyway.
Right?
Number 2.
The uniform aesthetics. There's nothing quite like the clash of colors and patterns on the field. It's like a giant human kaleidoscope minus the health benefits.
Look at AI.
Where's that jet blue?
AI with jokes.
Or this Strom helmet.
Here we go.
Number 1.
And the number one reason, top 5, the number one top 5 reason American football is the greatest sport ever, according to AI, Josh.
The tailgate party. Hey! Before the game even starts, we're already winning barbecue, beer, and bad jokes. It's like a family reunion, but with more face paint and less awkward small talk.
Did you see his face?
Nice job, Josh.
Let's get some.
Josh, thanks so much, man, for coming out, being a part of this with us. Josh Rogers with Walk-Ons. We're going to take our first break. You're listening to the Wingman podcast on PAS Plus.
Go to your Amazon Echo device and say, Alexa, open PAS Plus, and hear the Wingmen along with coverage of James Clemens football in crystal clear quality all season long. The Wingmen will be back after this.
Whether you have college recruitment or simply memorabilia in mind, let Social Gimmicks capture them with a cinematic highlight reel. Social Gimmicks is redefining Southern sports media with a distinctive flair. Contact Social Gimmicks with a Z online at socialgimmicks.mypixieset.com. Social Gimmicks, the essence of athleticism.
North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously. Local sports are brought to you in part by Limestone County Commission Chairman Colin Daly. Visit the County Commission page at limestonecounty-al.gov to keep up with what's going on in the county and find out what ranks us in the top 5% in the state. You can also call Colin at 256-233-6400 or on his cell phone at 256-800-4544. Athens Utilities comprises Athens Electric, Athens Gas, and Athens Water Services. Together, we are committed to providing reliable and affordable electricity, natural gas, and water and wastewater services. We operate as part of the City of Athens, and just like our city's motto of Athens is classic Southern character, we believe in supporting what makes our community special, and that includes Athens and Limestone County sports. Call 233-8750, go by their office at 508 South Jefferson Street, or look for the link online at athensal.us. PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens sports, and Applebee's tailgate talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net.
You're flying with the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Welcome back to the Wingman podcast right here on PAS Plus. Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, Brad Kimbrough, all of us right here at the table at Walk-On Sports Bistreaux in Madison, Alabama, Highway 72. And it's time for our second segment, what we call the cruising altitude. And I know, guys, we got names for everything. And we've got some special guests tonight, and we're really excited to talk to these three individuals. We're going to talk to James Clemens, offensive coordinator Ethan Truitt. We're also going to talk to senior running back Cam Berry and senior center long snapper Tim Coleman. Fellas, welcome aboard, man. Ready for flying?
Yes, sir. Glad to be here.
I love it. See, they took
here.
my cheese, man.
Coach Orange, glad to be here.
That's awesome. Well, Coach Truitt, we're going to start with you, man. I'm just going to come right out of the gate. When did you decide on play number 1?
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So I sent a text message out in our group message, and one of my favorite things about working with Coach McGee is he didn't say no, he didn't shoot it down, he just sent a gift back, and I was like, okay, we're going to get to call it. It's either going to score, someone's going to score on the first play. Either they're going to score or we're going to score, and it ended up working out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Cam, what was your thought when he told you you're going to throw the first pass, actually the second pass technically, but the first long pass downfield?
Yeah, after his career, did you think you would start the first play of the season throwing the ball?
No, sir, I didn't, but I knew I was able to, and I knew AJ would be able to make the play, so it was a great decision by Coach.
It was
Truitt.
fun. I promise you that.
Well, now, one of the things about – so the reason we wanted to have Tim and Cam on board too is not only just their seniors and their leadership, but a couple of things that we mentioned last week when we found out, and we talked about it Friday night during the broadcast. And Coach Truitt, we'll ask you about this as well. But for you guys, y'all were named permanent team captains for the Jets. How does that make you guys feel? Tim, we'll start with you, man.
I mean, it's a big honor. I mean, I've been in this program for 4 years now, so been busting my butt, working out, playing for us, and trying to be the best leader I can, even when I wasn't a leader.
Yeah.
Or a labeled leader, as I should say. So the team voted us, and it was unanimous. I think Cam had 25 votes. I had 21. The person behind us had 11. So that's who they wanted to pick. So we have to show up, and we have that title now, so we have to make sure we're good leaders for the team.
Love that answer. Cam, thoughts?
It shows how we've been working like on and off the field and making sure the team's doing it, all the little things we're supposed to do for us to be prepared for this season. So.
That's awesome.
Well, it's one thing to be named captain at the end of the season at a banquet,
sure.
right? But being named captain preseason, man, that's got to be pretty special. And you mentioned by your teammates, right? The people that are most important. So how do you go about making sure you carry on that role as captain now?
You know, your teammates want you to be captain, so that must mean a lot because we're not just voted by the coaches, we're voted by the team. And if the team wants us, we have to be an example for the team and just be what a captain should be. And that's coming out to events like this and coming out and supporting the younger guys at Liberty and everything like that too. So just being the model player for the program.
Well, that's big right there, talking about like leaving a legacy, right? Like reaching out to the younger guys and going about your work the right way. Like Cam, so when you get that preseason, usually it's the postseason deal, like you said, but preseason, is it just business as usual, or is it a little more pressure to be make sure you're doing the right things all the time, or is this something you're just used to doing? That's why you got the honor, right?
It's just business as usual. When you hold yourself to a high standard, it comes with it. So
that's
you really
right.
just got to be on it all the time.
Absolutely.
So, Coach Truitt, you kind of, he just mentioned it, the high standard. Mm-hmm. I mean, you hold the whole offense and the whole team to a high standard.
Right.
But for you, seeing these two guys, these seniors who you've been with now in year 2, how does that make you feel as a coach?
Well, what I love about the way that we do it, having 2 preseason captains, and then at the end of the season we're going to have 2 more permanent. But the reason I love having preseason captains is that something is going to go wrong at some point. Mm-hmm. And especially having 2 guys on that represent the offense and also represent the team, when things go wrong for us, that label means that they are going to be looked at by their peers for how they react to that adversity. And because of the standard that they hold themselves to, that's what the entire team should embody when we have those difficulties in the game. Because it's going to happen.
Sure.
Those things happen, and it's not a matter of if, but when. And so when those things happen, those guys are the ones that we want to rally behind and follow their example. And that's why I think being chosen for that preseason is so much better than just waiting till the end of the year, because you need people in the season to look to.
We saw that on the field Friday night,
sure,
right? Multiple times, but no bigger time than that last drive,
right,
trying to seal a win, and then the run you made there at the end, Cam, to get that first down,
yeah,
so we could run the clock out. What did you think, knowing that you can end the game on that run? What did you think pre-snap?
I was just thinking, lineman's blocking hard, so I got to run hard. I just give it all up to my linemen.
It's funny.
I like the way he keeps it simple too, baby.
It says it's so funny to me. He says that because for at least the last 2 years, that's all we've talked about with Cam Berry is how hard you run the football and just punish. I think back to, we talked about this Friday night, I think back to the Walter Paytons. Guys that could break away and do stuff, but they were looking to punish somebody when they came to hit them. Yeah. And just watching you run, and then the offensive line, we've been watching y'all since you were babies for 3 years. I mean, they were thrown to the fire as sophomores, right? And just watch the maturity level of those guys and just how that offense – and there's a reason there's 2 offensive guys here as permanent captains, because your team is older on that side of the ball. They've been around, they've been through it, where there's a lot of new faces defensively. So what are your expectations offensively going through this with all these guys? Year 2 of you being offensive coordinator, so now you got all this stuff you can add, right, in year 2, and guys that have been through it. What kind of expectations or excitement do you have with an older group like that?
Well, I am so blessed to be around kids who care about it as much as they do, and to work with a staff that gels so well together, and that there's no ego, there's no resentment. It's just like going to work and coaching football and having fun with each other, and that makes it so much better when you see them succeed on the field, and you've been around them for so long, and you've seen them as sophomores out there at the 7A level and getting pushed around and just doing everything they can. But now they've gone through all that, and now they're seniors now, and they're seeing those things start to pay off. And when you're young and you're taking your licks, sometimes it's hard to see what you're working for. And I think for them, especially for these two, to have received the honor that they've had, it shows that the hard work that they put in years ago has not been for nothing. So offensively, just overall, I'm very, very old school. If you don't like watching people run the football, you need to stay as far away from our games as possible, because that's what I believe in.
What's the quote? If you like wide zone, something?
Yeah, if you like wide zone, you belong here. Yeah. And if we execute it, then we will win here. Yeah. That's something that we believe in. And no matter what play we call, ever since I took this position, I just wholeheartedly threw myself into the idea of crafting a brand for our style of play. And I think that especially this group of seniors really exemplify that. And every entity, sports or in the corporate world, has a brand. And when they look at that image, they just are going to think something. When people drive by the Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux, they think, well, they have a really good mozzarella sticks. That's what I'm going to think, because I just had them. They were really good.
They are pretty good.
And so when teams see us and they see that James Clemens JC, I want them to think that, God, we're going to have to get into a phone booth with them, and we're going to have to physically match it, or they're just going to run over us. And they're going to, we may be bigger than them, we may be faster than them, but God, they're going to get after us. And that's what I love about these guys, because that's something that every single one of our kids can control. And we can't always control how fast we are or how big we are, the natural gifts that we have. But our brand is built on physicality, and every single one of them should know that, because I've been saying it for 2 years now. And now I think you get into some games, and even if you don't know that, you just start to notice it, that, God, these guys, they get off the ball, and they sprint through contact, and they finish every single play with their feet. And if you do those 3 things, you can play somewhere for us.
It's funny you say that. It makes me think, and I'm going to date myself a little bit. So, Odessa Permian Panthers, back in the heyday of them, Friday Night Lights. We went out there in the quarterfinals when I was in high school to play in the quarterfinals at Permian, and that was who they were. It was just a bunch of undersized, tough kids. I mean, they were running out the sweep out the outside, and the quarterback's leading the way, cut blocking somebody. It's just like total, just tough West Texas kids, and so that makes me think kind of the way you're talking. Like, our brand is, we're fixing to get after your tail.
Right.
Doesn't matter who we are or who you are. It's going to be a fist fight.
Right. And if you look at our staff, that really lends to the guys that we have on the offensive staff. With I played at Rogers High School in near Florence, and Coach McGuire played offensive line at Muscle Shoals. So we both played in the wing tee, and we're very, very successful in that. And we've seen what happens when you are very, very physical and you get into a booth with people who are not physical, and it usually shows up. Coach Dodd, he's a Wilson Warrior, the silver fox of our staff.
Silver fox.
He's
how is that not Laney Rich?
He's the silver fox of the offense, and so all of our guys, we believe in it, and it's something that I think lends to our success. Whenever we just know that no matter who we line up against, we can control how physical we are.
So talk about that for a minute, Tim, from the offensive line standpoint, to have a coach that's preaching that. Like, I would think if I'm one of those big nasties in the middle, like, that's just like feeding my soul, right? I mean, talk about the fun of playing that brand of football.
I mean, 100%. Like, I love the thrill of the fight, like I've always have. And
you're a wrestler.
I'm a wrestler too, so of course I'm going to love the one-on-one, all those situations. I mean, coming from when we were sophomores, I mean, we were literally thrown to the wolves. Like, we had no idea what we were doing. last year we were freshmen playing freshman ball. No sense of JV, none of that, straight to varsity. And it sucked. I mean, it sucked being a sophomore young guy getting whooped up on. Now we can do the whooping up on. So
yeah,
it's our time to shine. So
well, and running the ball. I mean, that's kind of we talked about last year when he broke in, and him and DJ were kind of yin and yang, a little bit different. And then after you got in and started punching people, DJ kind of turned the corner and started trying to do that too. We watched MJ the other night.
Yeah.
He had some breakaway deals, but there was times where he was trying to find contact, and we talked about how your leadership kind of lends to every other running back that comes and watches has to play with that ferocity. I mean, is that something that came natural to you? Is it a decision you've made over your career to be that kind of runner, or is it just something you've always done?
That's the brand that we preach at JC. Physicality.
See,
great answer.
It is a great answer. And Tim, I want to go back to you for just a second because we talked about the leadership aspect of being captains. And I think, Cam, for you, that run at the end of the game exemplified the leadership as a captain and showing that you weren't going down until you got those 25 yards, right? Tim, for you, something I noticed was you went out with a cramp.
I did.
And I watched your face, and you, quite honestly, you were pissed.
Yeah, I hate getting taken out of the game. I hate it.
And I watched you when you came back in. You still had a little bit of a limp, but you didn't give up, and you stayed in there. So that's the leadership that both, I think, is why you have those C's on your chest. And I think that's just congratulations to both of you for the leadership y'all are showing to this next generation of Jets that are going to be coming in from Liberty, coming in, the JV. These guys that are going to be taking your places next year. MJ, already looking good, So, I mean, Coach, the brand, you got it on your chest right there. Put the brand right there
and
on
we
display.
talk about that as coaches all the time about leaving a legacy. It's not really about what you do while you're here. It's what happens after you leave. And they've done a good job. And you're talking about how great your staff gets along and all that. Like, I look around our staffs at JC, and we talk about that county line culture and all those things. Like, I know Coach McGee has had a hard time over his first few years getting guys here. Like, the hiring process has been difficult at times. But he's really put a good group of men together.
Right.
I feel like I've got some of the best men coaching baseball. He loves his staff. They get along great. Like, there's really a good where's Coach Dr. Deeser? The synergy of what's going on at JC. I just think there's such good things going on in all aspects of athletics, and it's paying off and watching these kids perform and buy into the brand or the county line culture or whatever you're selling, right?
Right.
And it's really special what's going on.
So, Tim, real quick, before we let you guys go, because I know y'all still got some food over there on the table.
And a little brother with a birthday,
and
right?
A little brother with a birthday.
Shout out.
Wesley Coleman, happy birthday.
Coleman,
Wesley Coleman, happy birthday over there. Yeah, he's an up-and-coming Jet.
Yes, he is. He's a freshman.
He is. So I see you got a little hardware slung on the shoulder. Tell us about that.
I do. Well, this is our brand, too. We're going to block for Cam. So we're blocking physical as can be. We expect him to run physical as he can be. So this comes from pancakes and just being dirty, nasty, and also just, like, playing your heart out. Like, I went out with cramps. I hated that. And, I mean, this C's on my jersey, like, when you look at the other players, like, if I'm going out with a cramp, I better be getting back in because if they see weakness from me, the team's going to show weakness.
That's good.
So that can't happen. So this just shows how we will dominate.
Well, for those that can't see, it's like a WWE or
it's a wrestling championship belt. Oh, man, I've already posed for a picture with it.
Oh, I've got a great picture with you in this helmet.
So, Cam, tell me about this helmet, man.
Ooh, that helmet is great. That helmet is the reason why we get so many DTAs. We get so many, that helmet is the reason why we punish so many people.
So what's a DTA?
Coach, what's a DTA?
So I wrote a family-friendly version.
Oh, I got you. Dominate their tail. Yeah. But it's the A is not tail. Yeah. I got you. DTA.
I played under Matt Folks, and he's the O-line coach at Lexington High School, and that was something he said to us every day because that's something that you can control. You, whenever you line up against somebody, it's a mentality that you're going to play that way no matter who your opponent is, and it's something that anytime that we see see them get that, they have to earn the right to sign their name on that. So it's something that's on the sideline, under the tent every week. We sign it at practice. We have it at all the games. And so that's, for me, that's just an incentive for the way we play and trying to get people to buy in that. And the shirts are the same way. You'll see them walking around school with the shirts on, and that's something that they have to earn by doing those three things that we're very specific. And we don't just say be tough or be physical. Like, we tell them, get off the football. Like, when the ball is snapped, you're going to get off the football. And then when you have the ball and there's that moment of truth where you can either tense up or you can run through somebody, the second pillar of that is to sprint through contact. And Cam does that as well as anybody. And the last one is to finish with your feet. And if you go back and watch that play with Cam on that first down, Micah Douglas is pulling him down the field. Yeah. So the first person to stop their feet on a football play usually loses. And so we preach that if you keep your feet moving, no matter how big you are or how strong you are, you're going to give yourself a chance. And if you do that, then we can find somewhere for you to play for us.
So those that can't see this, it is a chromed out football helmet with
a visor.
With a visor, says DTA Dome on it, where the Jets usually go, Unity on the back, and it is signed all over the place. I guess guys that have done their job.
Just from this season.
This is just this season. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So one last question for both you guys. Cam, Tim. See, I'm a uniform kind of guy.
Oh, here we go.
You look good, you play good, right?
That's
my thoughts. You look good, you play good. So, Cam, what's your favorite uniform layout? Because y'all have a lot.
I have to go with the All Carolina.
Oh, that's my boy. See, I call it jet blue. I call it jet blue.
And he is in love with jet blue.
Come on, man. All day long. All day long. Cam. Tim, where you at?
We ain't seen it yet, but we have an all-white. And the all-white means something special to me because I'm an underdog. And when the white's out, that means we're at a disadvantage. We're at a different team stadium. And I love looking at the players' look on their face after we're dominating them play after play while wearing this white, and the stadium is silent. I like that jersey combination a lot more.
I love that answer.
I love that answer.
And I'm going to be honest, I've purposely I have not. I've hinted about the uniform stuff, but I have not let it out of the bag because I wasn't sure if it was a secret or not.
That's awesome.
So
I'm not even going to let anybody else.
You didn't ask Coach Truitt which his favorite is.
I bet Coach.
Coach, time out. Coach Truitt is a uniform guru. Like, he is the mastermind behind all the uniforms.
Yeah.
Coach Truitt, where were you at?
I also love the road whites, and something that I love that Dabo Swinney does at Clemson is they only wear their orange breeches in big games. And so he it's kind of funny how that all started, because he used to hate when kids would ask him, hey, what are we wearing? So he said, I'm not going to deal with it. We're only going to wear the orange for big games. Well, over time, that kind of developed its own reputation as, the orange pants are a big-time game. So now they only wear them for the playoff rivalry games so much. So for me, like, when we put the Carolina pants on, and especially with the white jersey. So Carolina helmet, the white jersey, and the Carolina pants, that's my go-to.
Still a good
wore it
look.
against Florence last year, and that was a huge game. That's my favorite. I love it.
I'm not going to lie. This week's was the Carolina Navy.
And
this week's I love.
Anytime you can match the helmet and the pants, that's
I love it.
That looks
Dude,
great. The candy cane.
On that one.
Coach McGee did not. Last year, before we played Huntsville, I suggested, hey, let's wear Navy jerseys and Carolina pants. And he's like, we're going to look like freaking candy canes out there. And then I was like, Coach, it's going to look good. I promise it's going to look
Gotta
good.
get y'all singing jet blue. That's gotta get that nomenclature in there, man.
Jet blue.
Jet blue. Well, guys, thank y'all so much. I know you got food over there. Thanks for joining us tonight. And Coach Ethan Truitt, Tim Coleman, Cam Berry, you guys are fantastic. We're looking forward to watching the rest of the season play out. Hey, big one next week.
Absolutely.
Take that break. Hydrate.
100%.
Get that mustard packet out for him. Let him start doing that. Cam, Tim, Ethan, appreciate y'all. We're going to take a quick break. You're flying with the Wingman on PAS Plus.
Enter your name for Bucket and a Bite at jcwingmen.net. You could pick up a gift card from Madison Golf Center good for a large bucket of balls and lunch at the grill. We'll be back with more of the Wingmen.
Are pests invading your home or business? Mosquitoes embedded on your property? Maybe excessive crawl space moisture has attracted unwanted visitors. Then call RedHawk Pest Control, offering residential and commercial pest control, mosquito and brown recluse management, stinging insect control, foundation vents, and many other services to North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. RedHawk aims to be more than just a service provider. They want to build a long-term relationship with each customer. Call RedHawk Pest Control at 256-975-8817. Visit them on Facebook or online at redhawkpestcontrol.com.
Whether you're an experienced golfer or a total beginner, Madison Golf Center has the largest, most up-to-date practice range in North Alabama, including a complete teaching center with the best and most experienced instructional staff available at your convenience. Madison Golf Center features the most complete driving range facility around, with a large grass tee area allowing for 100 hitting stations a day with a 14-day rotation. Open every day year-round and located at 401 Lime Quarry Road, between Wall Triana and Hughes Road. Madison Golf Center.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel Lab in Madison your first call. Apparel Lab will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
At Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistreaux brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux.
North Alabama Gas District has provided safe, reliable, and economical natural gas service to Madison and surrounding areas of Limestone County for over 40 years. However, accidents and leaks do sometimes occur. If you smell odors similar to rotten eggs or notice other possible signs of a gas leak, such as a fire or explosion, a blowing or hissing sound, or blowing dust or bubbling water, leave the area immediately, avoid ignition sources, warn others, and from a safe location, contact us immediately at 256-772-0227. And remember to call 811 before you dig. North Alabama Gas District, we take safety seriously.
Takes a snap. He's going to fake the pitch. He's at the 20, the 10. He's going to get a cover. Touchdown, James Clemens.
Be listening for James Clemens High School football this season as the Jets take on the best in Class 7A competition. You can hear every featured game streamed live online at pasnetwork.net, on your Amazon Echo device by saying, Alexa, open PAS Plus, or on your PAS Plus app, and later on demand. You can also hear the replays at Sunday afternoons on WKAC Radio. Join us for exciting coverage of James Clemens Jets football this season from Play Action Sports.
Now, more of the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Welcome back to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS Plus. Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, Brad Kimbrough, Carson Austin, and the producer extraordinaire,
Tim Oz Lambert. Pay no attention to the man behind.
Great segment right here, right before we took a break and being able to talk to, Coach Truitt and Cam and Tim and all of that. There's just some guys, those young men, and exemplify that leadership. And Coach Truitt spending some time with us and just awesome.
He's fired up, isn't he?
Man, he really is.
He's a guy that you need to have on for a longer conversation, too.
I think so.
The captains kind of outshined him earlier. I mean, they really did.
Oh, yeah.
We spent more focus on them. But how about those guys kind of mirroring the things that he had said they were trying to create?
Yeah.
Their answers came around. And I think that's, as a coach, that's what you want. When your players start repeating those same things, you're hearing it come from their mouths.
Yeah.
You've made an impact.
Well, you can tell just his passion for what he believes in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can tell. Oh, got a little birthday.
Well, you know who it is. It's Tim's little brother.
Yeah, Tim's little brother. You can hear it in the background.
Birthday.
All right.
Well, what we'll do, what I'd like to do now is just kind of read off this liner here, but because it's another segment that we're about to do, and it's still within our cruise and altitude, if you will, and just want to remind our listeners to nominate a student, an athlete, or an administrator at James Clemens for a job well done. And all you got to do is go online to jcwingmen.net and nominate them for our weekly Top Flight Award. And what they do is they get a gift card from Walk-On Sports Bistreaux right here in Madison on Highway 72. And what I want to do right now is I want to bring in our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner. Is that not it? Come on, you got to turn up the thing. I thought we had it, Tim.
And we got these cool sound bites.
Now I get to hit it.
The RedHawk Top Flight Award.
There it is.
And so, Johnny, who is our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner?
Oh, Sergeant Major Samuel McCray. Round of applause for Coach Sergeant Major.
Thank you.
So Sergeant Major is part of our JROTC program at James Clemens.
Yes, sir.
And before we let him talk, I'm trying to think of what he doesn't do on campus.
Yeah.
Like him and the ROTC kids, and Major Lennon is a big part of that too. But Sergeant Major is all over campus, whether it's trash duty, whether it's fixing some outdoor classroom,
pulling weeds at softball,
pulling weeds off the. Look, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell this story up front. There was, before we had artificial turf, we had regular natural field, and there was a problem with water when it rained, or even our irrigation system running into my dugout. Well, I go up there during the summer, and not only is there weeds pulled in my warning track by the dugout, but I walk up and there's somebody on all fours in front of my dugout, and I can't figure out what's going on. Well, Sergeant Major has just decided he's going to work that warning track with his hands and build a berm up where the water would not go in my dugout and would run off. So this is a guy, you talk about being selfless on campus and doing the things that other people don't necessarily want to do when it comes to cleaning or, like I said, the trash or just anything. And then you got we'll let you talk about it, the archery and the rifle and everything else. So I can't think of anybody that is on campus that is more involved in multiple things that deserves. It's been a Teacher of the Year.
That's right.
He was Teacher of the Year a few years ago. So, Sergeant Major, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's wonderful, and it's great to be here. I've never done anything like this.
We haven't either.
Oh, my goodness. This is great.
He wasn't like Robin Williams and what is that? Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah.
He wasn't running the radio station there at the base. But so talk a little bit about what your role is. Let's just start with the JROTC, what your role is, and really with you and Major Lennon, what ROTC does for the kids there at school.
Yes. Well, I started with before I became an instructor. I did 31 years in the Army. And then after that, I said, you know what, I did JROTC in high school, and it would be something great for me to do because the program, it really built me up, my confidence and everything. So I decided I applied for the job, and I got it. Now, I will say that first year, I said, this is the worst career decision I've ever made in my life.
You mean those high school kids are a little different than people in the Army?
Yes. And then I saw my first pay stub, and I said, man, I spend more money at Costco.
Thank goodness for that retirement from the military, right?
Yes, sir. But JROTC is a wonderful program. We focus on employability skills. We focus on building these kids up because, there are some kids that come into the program, and I don't know if y'all know, public speaking is a #1 fear in the world. Some people would rather get shot than stand up in front of. But when you see these kids 3 years later, they're standing up there, they're briefing, and it just brings joy to my heart. And this is a very rewarding job. It's challenging, but it's rewarding. I say the challenging part are the parents, but other than that,
it's just like being a coach.
Yes. But JROTC is a great program. There are some kids, they don't know what they want to do prior to coming to JROTC. We expose them to a lot of different careers. The recruiters come in, guest speakers come in and speak to them. And I can't say enough about the program. I love it. I love the parents that help out. The archery team, I love that team. Marksmanship. the boosters that work with JRTC, but it's just a wonderful thing. But I will say that first year, I used to sit in the parking lot sometime and just cry. Cry for like 15 minutes.
Just to sit there.
You don't look like a guy that sits in the parking lot and cries.
No, I didn't really cry.
Where's that napkin that Truitt wrote on a while ago? Hey, well, listen, I can say this because we see your kids in the hallways every day,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And I'm in my year 4 here, so I've seen some kids that have been in there multiple years, and it's funny how all of a sudden they're walking a little bit straighter.
Yes.
They're a little bit taller. They've got more confidence about themselves, and it's not just in the way they speak. It's in the way they carry themselves. It's in the way they handle certain situations around school. They're the kids who are always going to open the door for you and allow you in. They're the kids who are going to pick up that random piece of trash on the floor. Those kids you're definitely making an impact with those children, and it's easy to see in the hallways at school every day.
Oh, yeah. I tell them, I say, if you take the skills that you learn in JRTC and you take those skills, they transition over into the workforce. I tell you one thing, you won't be the first one to get fired. But
we're not going to guarantee you won't, but you won't be the first.
but you're going to do well. You're going to be a team player. You're going to know how to communicate. And you're going to integrity. Integrity is important. You're going to respect others. And some of I love it when other teachers are come and tell us, like, your kid, 2 of your cadets actually stayed after class and cleaned the classroom for me. And I love to hear stuff like that.
Well, and you get all different types. Like, my baseball kids are baseball kids. Your softball girls, you kind of get a general type kid. You know what I mean? Like, they've grown up doing it. Some of your kids come in there and I'm sure are military interested in all those things. And then you get some that are just there because they don't want to do PE sometimes or career prep. Like there's kids that are sent there disciplinary sometimes. And you watch those kids evolve, right? Like from different backgrounds and different upbringings. And I can imagine it's a challenge sometimes because some of them don't necessarily want to be there day one. But I would guess it's not just about pushing these kids into the military, right? It's much bigger than that.
Much bigger than that. Yeah, it's just to motivate them to be better citizens. Yeah. And that's all we just want them to do their best in life. Just put some effort into it. I think you have done something. If you get up in the morning and you make your bed, you have been successful that day. If that's the only thing you do, you made your bed. And some of them, that's probably all they do is make it.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I told Johnny this story.
Go ahead, tell the story. Yeah, it's a good story.
So your students, they kind of take care of that gate.
Yeah, they work the gates on Friday.
That pass gate, right? So and this is not an issue, but I'll tell you, you had a couple of kids working the gate, a couple of students, and walk up, got sporting my shirt. I'm getting ready. I got my backpack. And I didn't have my pass on. I had it hanging, and I walked up. And as I was walking to the gate, I was going to sign in and show them the pass. One of your guys did his job, and he stepped right in front of me. And he stood and I told Johnny, I was like, I'm a grown man. But this kid was taller than me, and he stepped with some confidence, and he said, "You part of the school?" And I said, "No, I'm part of the broadcast." Well, then you're okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
He was doing it. He was sold
his job, man. He was committed to. It's not just the kids that you're making better citizens, Sergeant and Major. It's you make me a better citizen. When I first got to campus there, I saw you everywhere. I didn't even know what you did yet, but I saw you everywhere. He's on the gator picking up trash. He's helping do trash runs. He's volunteering to help in every phase of the building. You're out there cutting grass at the outdoor classroom and keeping that place. There's nothing this guy doesn't do around campus. That's what Coach Johnson said earlier. And that's not something you're getting paid for. That's something you're doing because you're an outstanding human being who's looking for ways to contribute and take the workload off others. And the contribution that you make at James Clemens is hard to match. I don't know if there's anybody else that does that.
Well, and I think that goes back to why he was voted Teacher of the Year a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, people noticed that stuff, and so when his name got put on there was people that gravitated to, you know what, he does everything right. He helps everybody on campus, and it was an easy choice. And so people appreciate good people, right?
Oh, thank you.
And I think we've got good people in JC. We talked about that a minute ago, and he sets the tone. People like that set the tone. And
So Sergeant Major, tell us a little bit. Some people might not know you personally, so tell us a little bit about where you're from, how you got to this point in your career.
Okay, so 1963, born in Pensacola, Florida.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to be an accountant. Yeah, but we didn't have all these computers and stuff. So when you made a mistake,
like an abacus.
That's right. You had to start all over again. Yeah. So I said, no, this is not for me. So I decided to go in the military. At first, I was going to go in the Navy, but I scored so low on the test. I was like, they're going to probably have me swabbing the deck or something because they weren't talking right. But I went over to the Army recruiter. Oh, and he was saying everything I wanted to hear.
Yeah, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That's what they get paid for, right?
And then, growing up, my mom was a maid. So on the weekends, I would go and clean houses and everything. And we grew up being very respectful, hardworking and everything. So when I went in the military, it was so easy.
Because you'd been raised right.
Yes, being respectful. If a grown-up tells you to do something, you do it. And it was just so easy. So I said, I am never getting out of the military. And I worked at Wendy's. Oh, and that was hard work right there.
You never want to go back to Wendy's.
That's right. I was like, man, they have 5 people doing this. I would be doing this by myself at Wendy's. So I did 31 years, and I moved here. Well, my wife actually chose this place here because 31 years I've pretty much been dragging her around. So I said, I'm going to let you pick where I retire at. So the first time I saw Huntsville was actually when I flew in on the plane.
Wow.
And yes. And let me see what else. Did I miss anything? But I did logistics in the military. And before I got out, that's why I said sometimes this is the worst career decision I have ever made. I had a top secret clearance. I was working in the Army Contracting Command. And I said, you're going to be a school teacher? You could be making triple what you're making now. But I will say, that first year, I did quit. I would tell Colonel Taylor, if I come in at 7:30, that's another day I have quit this job.
But where was your favorite stop? I mean, you're talking about all the years being in the military, 31 years. You're talking about dragging your wife around.
Oh, yes.
Was there a favorite place that y'all had lived for a while or were stationed?
Fort Bragg. At Fort Bragg, you soldiered. I played a lot of sports there. I was on the basketball team, football team, and we just we were so tight. It was like a family. And I never felt that in some of the other units I went to. And it was just that family feeling and just the sports. I mean, we were like, oh, my goodness, sports. I know y'all know about it, but this was when we played 82nd, the Airborne. Actually, one of them, they broke my nose.
It gets a little competitive, huh?
Serious. Hey, and I'll say this up until, and he may be back in action now. He had a knee replacement, yes, correct? Boy, he'd be out there running with those cadets on campus. He'd run with them. I mean, yeah, and then he had that knee problem. Yeah. Got a little bike he'd ride around for a while. But now I'm feeling better, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I actually decided I'm going to work until I'm 67 now.
Okay.
So I said,
with us, right?
Yes.
There we go. Okay, good.
I can do that. Or stay at home with my wife, and she talks from the time she get up in the morning until she. So I said, you got a choice.
You didn't tell her. You didn't give her the link to this podcast.
Oh,
she might listen to this.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Well, good. She don't want to hear you say that.
No.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, Sergeant Major, we really appreciate you coming out. Congratulations for being our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner. I tried to do it again.
The RedHawk Top Flight Award.
We're still tweaking this.
Yes, sir.
Still tweaking this. If you want to nominate someone for the RedHawk Top Flight Award, you can nominate a student, athlete, or administrator at James Clemens for a job well done. All you got to do is go online to jcwingmen.net and nominate them for our weekly Top Flight Award. And what they get is a gift card right here, Walk On Sports Bistreaux in Madison on Highway 72.
And teacher or community person, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Last week, teachers.
Yes, anybody. So again, congratulations. Thank you for coming out and spending some time with us. It's a pleasure meeting you, sir.
You too.
We really appreciate what you do.
Well, everything you do does not go unnoticed. It's very much appreciated.
Well, I appreciate you. All right. Well, I don't know what else to say after that. I think we're going to go. Let's fly into another break.
Yeah.
You're listening to the Wingmen Podcast on PAS+.
Nominate an athlete, student, administrator, or another member of the James Clemens family for a job well done by going to jcwingmen.net and filling out the form for the RedHawk Top Flight Award. They could win a gift card from Walk On Sports Bistreaux, and at the end of the season, we'll draw from all the recipients for a year of service from RedHawk Pest Control. The Wingmen will be back after this.
Here's what's on the Jets' radar. Tomorrow, the freshman volleyball team will be at Buckhorn for a quad match on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, JV and varsity teams will go to Muscle Shoals. Varsity will be in the Ironman tournament at Huntsville. Cross-country teams will compete at the Pepsi Challenge in Moulton. Next Tuesday, varsity volleyball hosts Athens. We'll be back after this with more of the Wingmen.
Local sports are brought to you in part by Limestone County Commission Chairman Colin Daly. Visit the County Commission page at limestonecounty-al.gov to keep up with what's going on in the county and find out what ranks us in the top 5% in the state. You can also call Colin at 256-233-6400 or on his cell phone at 256-800-4544.
At Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistreaux brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux.
Whether you have college recruitment or simply memorabilia in mind, let Social Gimmicks capture them with a cinematic highlight reel. Social Gimmicks is redefining Southern sports media with a distinctive flair. Contact Social Gimmicks with a Z online at socialgimmicks.mypixieset.com. Social Gimmicks, the essence of athleticism.
Since 2014, Honest Coffee Roasters has believed that coffee should be both delicious and of the highest quality. Full-service craft coffee shops, locally owned in Madison and Huntsville, they source their coffee directly from farmers around the world, so they know the quality in each cup. And not only coffee, breakfast, lunch, acai bowls, and seasonal treats, too. Order online at honesthsv.coffee. Honest Coffee Roasters, located at 92 Shorter Street in Madison and 114 Clinton Avenue East, number 106 in Huntsville. Honest Coffee Roasters.
Athens Utilities comprises Athens Electric, Athens Gas, and Athens Water Services. Together, we are committed to providing reliable and affordable electricity, natural gas, and water and wastewater services. We operate as part of the City of Athens, and just like our city's motto of Athens is classic, Southern, character, we believe in supporting what makes our community special. And that includes local sports. Call 233-8750. Come by our office at 508 South Jefferson Street or look for the link online at athensal.us.
Ready to show off your film IQ? Ready to show it off during James Clemens football? Maybe it sounds like trying to mix oil and water, but hey, we're just trying to have a little fun. Listen for our in-flight movie quote during James Clemens football coverage on PAS+. We'll slip in a line at some point during our play-by-play commentary, and if you can identify the movie that it's from, text the answer along with your name to 434-1PAS. That's 434-1727, and you could win a $10 credit from Honest Coffee Roasters in Madison. The in-flight movie quote from Honest Coffee Roasters and PAS+.
The Wingmen podcast is back now on PAS+.
Welcome back to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS+. Kirk Pierce, Johnny Johnson, Brad Kimbrough, Carson Austin, Tim Lambert. Right here, Walk On Sports Bistreaux, and now it's time to bring some excitement into the podcast.
We haven't had
any excitement. Okay. This is our segment, what we refer to as the final approach, and it is my pleasure to introduce to the Wingman crowd, Dr. Kerry Donaldson, the principal, James Clemens High School.
Yes, indeed. Dr. D in the place to be.
We ready? Come on. We ready? Come on. We ready? Wingman. How y'all doing? Dr. D, you in the place to be. You know it.
Listen. Hey, that's just a taste of Friday morning.
I tell you.
Yes,
it gets. Hey, a couple weeks ago, he sang to the faculty in Spanish.
I sure did.
Did you?
And doesn't know a lick of what he said.
Don't know a lick of Spanish.
See, my wife knows you.
She does. Good. I hope it's good.
She did. I told her, that last year when I interviewed you, she said, well, I know, Dr. Donaldson came from Athens.
I sure did.
And my wife taught art over there at Cowart Elementary. Yep. And now she's moved on to the county side. She's on the
county side.
She went up to Altamont.
We'll let that stay.
But yeah, so I told her, she was like, was he funny? I went, what do you know? Well, I mean, what do you think? Of course he was.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a blast interview at halftime. So excitement here.
Yes.
Next school year for you, second school year at James Clemens.
Yes, so 2.5 years.
2.5, that's right.
In this role. And before I begin, I have to tell y'all something. My wife can contest to this. As soon as I walked in, just a random baby ran up and hugged me. So I picked the baby up and I took a picture with him. Right there.
So good.
That's the family. They let me take it. Have no idea who they are.
Hey,
it's a place to be.
There is no shyness when a camera's around with Dr. D.
No. Yep. So
and that's so this guy just exudes positivity. I mean, he is a ball of energy.
Appreciate it.
And we need that. Sergeant Major just talked about how his first year as a teacher, right? He had those days where he's like, man, what have I done? I'm gonna cry. This is tough.
He said he cried. I don't believe that.
No, I don't believe that.
He said he did. He backed off of it.
A school building can be that way sometimes, where it is tough on your soul because you are pouring and investing so much. But when you walk into James Clemens, you got this guy who is firing everybody up.
Appreciate
it. Hey, you good? How you doing?
And means it.
And
are you good?
100. He's sincere about every bit of it, and you can't help but come to work with a better attitude and with greater effort and want to pour more into that environment with a guy like this.
Well, and we've said this on this podcast. Where are you going to have it better? If you're in the position we are, where are you going to have it better in JC? Dr. D, where are you going to have it better?
On County Line Road at James Clemens High School.
That's the only place.
Got that big jet in front of him.
The big jet. I put the jet up there. I did. Yeah, right. I didn't do that. That was
something done in a long time.
Oh my goodness.
So, what is your mindset every morning when you wake up and go in to the school? I mean, because being a principal, first of all, being a teacher, being married to a teacher, I see the ups and the downs that she has every day. But you can't have that, even though you know that there are going to be some obstacles that are going to come your way, if not today, probably tomorrow before the end of the week. What is your mindset every morning when you wake up?
Well, so it starts at home. Like my wife is very supportive. Like she knows who I am and she knows this is me and she helps set the day and she helps set the tone. And then I know when I get to school, I know like, hey, I must be on for everybody because I believe in synergy. And what synergy is, it's a group coming together to reach a common goal. And one of my things is, some people focus on the things that are not working right now. But for me, I'm always focused on everything that's right. Because if I don't, then I let doubt creep in. And these guys know I don't have a doubt in my bone. So,
unless it's Bloom.
Yep. Oh, except for that.
Say that on air?
Hey, I'm getting off the mic. I'm leaving.
You brought up the only source.
You brought up the only
source. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, but then and like I see my team, like everybody, and we all need somebody, especially when we're in this field. Like each morning, I'm up front. Coach right here, he's my right-hand man, and he'll tell you, like, there's so much going on in the day that I don't remember. And he'll remind me, like one day, I was just standing there, right? I'm the principal of James Clemens High School. He said these two words. He said, hey, you know we have a pep rally today, and it's the student-faculty basketball game today. And I said, what? Ask me.
Coach Kimbrough saved you on that one.
I said, I'll be right back. Is that today? So it was today. So it's stuff like that. And when people see that I'm a human being and I'm vulnerable, they're good. Yeah. And they know it's okay to make a mistake. And a mistake is an unintentional act with consequences. But if you do the same thing again, it's called intentional. That means you really mean to do it. So when they see that I'm human and I hold people accountable, and then when I'm being held accountable, it makes the team even stronger.
Well, and you talk about the group. We've mentioned this with Sergeant Major, and we've talked about our staffs before, just what a special place and the group of people we get to work with and your admin team. And I've talked with Coach Ord, everybody. Like, we've been other places before. Mm-hmm. And to come into the environment at JC and work for a group like you and Flanagan and Miller and Jared and McCants and on and on and on. Like, What a blessing.
It is.
Because everybody is kind of on the same page with that synergy you're
Synergy.
talking about.
It is.
Everybody wants to treat each other the right way and be respectful. Nobody thinks that they're high, above one another. It's like we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And I think that starts at the top.
Well, there's a genuine love.
It is.
Among a lot of us at school, but among your team, that there's a genuine love and concern for each other. And Coach is right. That's because you are investing in them as much as
a lack of ego.
Completely.
Yep, it is, and that's the key because when I go to different conferences or different schools and I hear the thing that they say, I just listen. And I wait for them to ask me, well, what do y'all do with James Clemens? And the first thing I say is, hey, we have an hour lunch with 2,000 students. And it blows their mind. Like, how do y'all do that? Well, just like y'all, and it's hard to explain to them. They have to see it, but it starts at the top. Like, we trust that the students are going to do right. Some we have to get on, but for the most part, like, they want it. And they see that we want it. And they see that they want that synergy, and it just works. And it does start from the top. And I want to thank Dr. Nichols for allowing us to do that because it's branched out to other things. And Kimbrough, he can attest to that. Like we have different programs now that's stretched out from refuel. It's called reroute. So it's really great, and it's a good feeling when everyone is on board and they believe in the process.
Well, it's all student-centered.
It is.
Right? I mean, that's the reason you set it up that way. It's not to give teachers a break because we're working during that period of time.
Yep.
It's all of it is student-centered. And I'll say this, my biggest complaint in education is that 99% of the questions that we have in education, we can answer by saying, all right, what's best for our kids? That's what this guy does is, okay, let's look at this problem. What's going to be best for our kids? And I've never went to him where he didn't listen to me and then he did not support me. I mean, he's fantastic to work for, and I do think he's very student-centered in everything that we're doing.
Well, and I think you watch – everybody's got to be true to who they are, right? And I think since you've been there, even some of the kids that might be a little bit of trouble, because you are positive and you love on them first, they've responded in a lot of ways.
You're right.
Instead of just hammer all the time, he comes with love and positivity. Then when he has to be stern, they listen.
Yeah.
Instead of just hammer, they get tired of hearing it and they don't want to hear it anymore. Like that effect watching some of the kids from, before you were the principal. And that's no knock on Dr. Clayton or anything. I mean it that way. I'm just saying some of those kids that were a struggle, I watched them kind of blossom into somebody different because he actually likes me. Like he cares about me. And then when I got to say, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
They're willing to respond. And it's just a different style, and it's not for everybody. Not everybody can pull that off because you can't fake it.
Yep. No,
that's got to be who you are. And that's been a cool thing to watch since he's been in charge.
I appreciate it.
So is that, like, for you, is that how you were raised? I mean, in terms of, from your household and everything?
Yes. So my dad is like me.
Yeah.
And my mom.
We should get him on, too.
You should.
We would just give them our headsets and be done.
That's a whole show. One guest, whole show.
It would be. And, like my mom and dad, like, they show love to everybody. And it wasn't so much what they said as what they did. And, like, they're well respected around the community. And I seen what that has done for a lot of youth. Like, it's people now 30, 35, 40 years old that still wants advice from my dad because, and my mom because of the love that they've shown. So they're like the matriarch of the family, and it's really good. Like, I can call them and we can just have conversations. Like, they're my parents, and, they raised me, they disciplined me, but now it's like we're partners, and that's a good feeling. And Coach, you and your daughter, y'all have that, and you and your son, y'all have that, and that's a good feeling. Like when your son come talk to you and say, "Hey, Dad, this is what we doing," or your daughter, "Hey," and I watch that too, and like that's what it's about. Like they can always come to y'all, not saying you their friends, y'all are partners now, and that's big because I've watched both of your babies grow.
You did,
I did, and and it's great. And with his son, I called Coach one day early in the morning, I said, hey, I need your son. He said, hey, all right, what's going on? I said, let me just talk to him. So
I was worried. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he was worried. He told me. But see, this is, and I'm gonna delve into that. So I said, hey man, don't worry about it. Let me talk to him. So I've watched this young man grow for 4 years. I watched him be a leader. So I asked him to speak in front of leaders across the state of Alabama and in front of the superintendent. And he said, I don't know if he was as confident in himself as I was in him, but I said, man, you can do it, and you're going to be a motivational speaker. I said it to him all the time, and he got up there and he killed it.
I was in the room. He did kill it.
And he still said, well, man, I don't have all the accolades. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that was his word. Like, the other kids were in there like valedictorian.
Yes.
They're going to Yale. And JT's like, I'm going to Snead to play baseball.
And all the students did well, but that's the thing about JC is well diverse. Like, we had a diverse group up there, and each student did well. And as big and as strong as his son is, he still has some doubt. But once he got in the room, he knew he was on the same playing field like playing baseball.
Yeah.
So I really believe stuff like that gives them confidence. And, like, when I see kids in the hallway, that's who I look for. Like they'll tell you, like, I would have never sung in Spanish, but kids came to me and said, hey, can we do this? And what happened with that was when we sung that song, that opened the door for them to come talk to me just about just life. So and like you said, that's what it's all about. It's all about being kid-centered, and I get it from my parents. I mean, they've done it all their life, and they did it with me, and that's where it comes from.
Well, Doc, since you came in as full-time principal, since you were named principal, I can tell you this: everything you've done, like the situations you just talked about, has either directly or indirectly, it's been about empowering our students.
Yes.
And you've empowered a lot of our staff members as well. You've empowered your admin team. You do a great job of empowering others to take on new roles, to try new things, and be successful at whatever venture they're aiming at.
Yes.
I mean, is that not the ultimate goal of education?
It is. It is the ultimate goal, and it's really good because, like, when I come to your softball field or when I come to your baseball field, like, it's love. Whenever I come out there, it's not, oh, what does Dr. D want? It's what's going on? How you doing, Dr.
No, you're liable to roll up with a case full of Gatorade.
Sure
I rolled up one time, and I looked up. He's like, hey, you got somebody who can help me? I'm like, yeah. Yep. What do you need? He come rolling up with, like, cases of Gatorade for the guys. You know?
Yeah. So, and just simple stuff like that builds relationships. And yes, the kids are huge, humongous, they're hitting home runs, but they still want to be loved.
That's right.
And they're still our babies.
That's right.
We tried to get your wife to come on, and this is the question I wanted to ask her, and so I'm going to just ask you.
Hey, Jack.
She.
Yeah.
She coming.
Come on.
We got a headset for her?
Yeah, please do.
Where's that other headset?
Let me see. I knew you was ready. You ready? Come on. All right.
There she is.
I'd introduce your wife to the world.
I will. This is the famous Jacqueline Donaldson. She chased me in the 8th grade. She wrote in my yearbook to the cutest boy in this school.
She said I did. She said I did.
I told you. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So here's the question I wanted to know for a while. We see him every day, energy, he's all over the place singing. When he gets home, does he just flat out crash at some point? Does he hit a wall?
Yes. If he sits down, it's over.
I had to think so. So.
Yeah.
So he's not that way all the time.
No. But there are songs that are banned. He cannot sing in our house.
I have been banned from singing songs.
Because it's so bad, or because you've heard it so many times?
Because he won't stop.
See, and that was actually going to be my question. I was going to close this out. So you actually did a great job of segueing into this. So, Dr. Donaldson, let me just go ahead and ask you.
Okay.
What's the craziest song that you've ever sung in school or whatever?
And the Spanish song doesn't count.
Spanish song does not count.
Ooh, put him on the spot.
Thank you for being a friend.
She's off.
She got out. Turn around the road.
She took the headphones off.
She said, I'm out.
I'm guessing that was one of the band songs.
Yeah,
he did that on purpose.
That That is awesome. And you do that every Friday.
Every Friday.
Hey, he might just do it on a random Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh, he stepped in tonight singing.
Yes. Almost always. I mean, it's almost always Friday, but there will be some random days if something special's going on, or he's got a special shout out. I mean, it's.
And listen, he's fearless. Not just because he sings over the intercom, but some of the song choices when the song starts playing, I think to myself, "Oh, this is going to be a struggle."
Yep.
And he will attack those high notes. He needs needs to sign the chrome helmet because he'll dominate some high notes.
That is the key word.
And let's go ahead.
Attack. That's what it is.
And let's be honest. And since we're here and we're honest and in the trust tree or whatever we got going on here, it's not like we're listening to Stevie Wonder or it's not Prime.
It's not Lionel Richie over here.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Lionel Richie.
But you know what it is?
I don't think Mr. Gessner's going to be coming looking to join choir.
No.
But you know what it is? It's confidence.
It's confidence.
Confidence is key.
Confidence. Hey, I wake people up.
That's it.
If you are asleep,
that's your job.
And you need coffee, I am your coffee.
He doesn't drink coffee.
I just thought about that.
He don't drink.
He just made that up right now.
That's awesome.
He's human caffeine.
I am. You coming back? back?
No, she's done. She's tapped out. She's tapped out. Well, Dr. Donaldson, I appreciate you coming on, joining us, and we hope we can have you again.
Absolutely.
It is always a pleasure to have you in interview. I hope we can get you at halftime sometime this year.
I'll be there.
I know. There's no doubt. I knew I could ask, and he would come up.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you, Dr. Kerry Donaldson, the principal at James Clemens High School. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll have our last segment, The Landing. You're listening to The Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Follow JC Wingmen on Threads, Instagram, and X, and look for The Wingmen on Facebook. The Wingmen podcast continues after this.
At Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, our love for the game, community, and heart of a walk-on make you feel like family the moment you walk in. Wings, shrimp, and burgers made from scratch, wall-to-wall TVs, and signature drinks. Founded by two LSU walk-ons, Walk-On Sports Bistreaux brings the cuisine, the culture, and the community to life. Always fun, never forced, and our doors are open to anyone. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux, 8368 Highway 72 West in Madison. Walk-On Sports Bistreaux.
If you're looking to make your business stand out, save yourself some time and make Apparel Lab in Madison your first call. Apparel Lab will help you grow your brand with custom t-shirts and hoodies using their unique direct-to-garment printing. Laser engraving can put your design on mugs and tumblers. Plus, they can help with custom-designed hats, stickers, banners, signs, decals, and much more. Apparel Lab. Call 344-4656 or visit them online at apparellab.inc and on Facebook and Instagram. Located in the Madison Mall Shopping Center on Old Madison Pike. Apparel Lab.
Whether you're an experienced golfer or a total beginner, Madison Golf Center has the largest, most up-to-date practice range in North Alabama, including a complete teaching center with the best and most experienced instructional staff available at your convenience. Madison Golf Center features the most complete driving range facility around, with a large grass tee area allowing for 100 hitting stations a day with a 14-day rotation. Open every day year-round and located at 401 Lime Quarry Road, between Wall Trina and Hughes Road. Madison Golf Center.
Are pests invading your home or business? Mosquitoes embedded on your property? Maybe excessive crawl space moisture has attracted unwanted visitors. Then call RedHawk Pest Control, offering residential and commercial pest control, mosquito and brown recluse management, stinging insect control, foundation vents, and many other services to North Alabama and Southern Tennessee. RedHawk aims to be more than just a service provider. They want to build a long-term relationship with each customer. Call RedHawk Pest Control at 256-975-8817. Visit them on Facebook or online at redhawkpestcontrol.com. PASnetwork.net. It's now your gateway to the Play Action Sports Network. Whether it's Play Action sports coverage of school, youth, and amateur sports from Athens and Limestone County, or Calhoun basketball, James Clemens sports, and Applebee's tailgate talk via PAS Plus. PASnetwork.net. Follow the links to download apps to hear live streams and podcasts, enable Alexa skills, or listen live on your computer. Covering Athens and Limestone County area sports, PASnetwork.net.
We're back with more of the Wingmen on PAS Plus.
Thank you for being a friend.
Welcome back to the Wingmen podcast right here on PAS Plus. Kirk Pierce.
We'll get banned.
Yeah, Jimmy. I can't do this anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing. Johnny Johnson, Brad Kimbrough, Carson Austin, and Tim Lambert as we roll into our final segment, The Landing, where we just kind of evaluate the podcast a little bit, give away have a little giveaway here in a minute, and then kind of wrap up and get ready for next week. Guys, I tell you, lots of guests here tonight, and it's an exciting night here.
Man, we've had a ball. I've had fun every week, but this one's been fun.
Every guest, right? There's been something going on every time, and of course, when you bring that guy in the room,
the show.
There was a reason why I said that the energy's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew that Dr. D was going to bring it.
He picks up the energy.
He does
every time in the whole place.
Every time. Well, we've got our Madison Golf Center bucket and bite winner. We need to announce that tonight. And what they do basically is they go online to PAS Plus, and or they can go, to the Wingmen podcast, the jcwingmen.net, and you can register for your chance to be in the drawing for a Madison Golf Center bucket and bite. And what that gets them, guys, is a bucket of balls at the Madison Golf Center and a little bit of lunch. How about that?
Man, what a great setup they got over there. I've been over there with Coach Kimbrough before to hit a few balls.
It's a great place.
It is a pretty nice setup right there, not far from Trash Pandas, right over the ridge, and right off Highway, the 565 there, but it's nice.
So our Madison Golf Center bucket and bite winner for this week, Clayton Sternberg. Clayton Sternberg is our winner. Thank you, Clayton, for going online to jcwingmen.net and registering for your chance to win. And if you want to do that, all you got to do is go online and register your name. And maybe you could be the winner of our Madison Golf Center bucket and bites, where you'll get a gift card to get a bucket of balls and lunch.
That's right. Eat a little food and try to burn some calories swinging a golf club.
So, guys, one thing I wanted to do before we wrap up is, this week, again, we've mentioned it already. We talked to we talked to Coach Truitt, we talked to Cam and Tim and everything from last Friday night, but that was a win. It's in the column. We're done. They got a week this week to prepare for the Madison Bowl. Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about that tonight. And that's on purpose. But we're going to close it out because next week we're going to spend a lot of time, I think, talking about that game.
Yeah, that's probably half the show next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it becomes a weekly event.
It does.
I mean, that's a big deal. I know, I don't want to give away too much here, but I know I was having a conversation with our new athletic director today, and he said one of the things he never thought that he would be involved in as far as athletic director is talking about which flags the skydivers are going to be carrying. For a high school football game.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
For a high school football game.
If you go back at what we talked about with the new athletic director,
Lane Rink.
Scores. I'm sitting here looking at our list of names, and his name escaped. But when he talked about the Jets, the Blue Angels, that made me laugh.
That was
he thought the Blue Angels. He didn't know they was our dance team.
We got the Blue Angels.
We got the Blue
Well,
Angels.
for those of you that weren't involved, because that wasn't on air.
No, it wasn't.
Right.
But
was that off air?
No, that was off air. So our administrative
just threw him under the bus.
Our administrative secretary asked him, "Are you going to make the Blue Angels pay to come to the game?" And he said, "Yeah, I think they can afford it." He had no idea we had an organization at school called the Blue Angels.
Which they do a fantastic job.
They're wonderful. But he was thinking about the
fighter pilot. Oh, yeah, the show. I'm sure they make plenty of money flying those planes.
Yeah.
They can afford it.
So you got the Blue Angels flying over. We're dropping parachutes. We're doing all kinds of stuff. Now the Madison Bowl next Friday night is the other school.
Week from Friday.
Next Friday night. A week from this Friday is next. Well, that's fine. I see where you're going with it. I see. I'm tracking.
That bye week's got us all thrown off.
I know it messes us up. So not this Friday, but Friday night, September the 6th.
There it is.
At 7 o'clock is kickoff at Madison City School Stadium. And we'll be broadcasting live. Usually we get on the air about 6:45, do a little pregame show. And
hey, show up at 6:30 and hear some of our sponsors.
Absolutely. Show up and hear
some commercials.
Hear all those and listen to us.
You better not wait till 6:30 if you're coming to that game.
No, you definitely don't want to do that.
Get there early.
Better get there early. I think Tim always plays a little bit of his interview with Coach Chad McGee, so you definitely tie into that and appreciate Coach McGee. everything that he's done for us each and every week, and getting Coach Truitt out here this week to talk about the offense. And we're going to have him again. I think we need to, because there's a lot of things like we talked about is we really need to get a little bit more deeper into his mindset, because I'm going to tell you, he keeps everything moving and shaking. Last week was this is one thing we did not talk about. There was like a Canadian Football League's rule play going on.
They start that receiver like 13 yards deep.
I think it was Cam. I think it was Cam that was on that. Yeah.
I remember that. I was talking to some friends about the play, and they were so confused, like, what? What do you mean Canadian Football League? And I'm like, the Canadian Football League, they have people like back like 20 yards back.
And running forward. We can't do the running forward part, but he's got some interesting ideas. And it's funny because he is so simplistic, I think, in
philosophy.
The philosophy and the beat you up in a phone booth and all that. But there's 75 different formations off of that simplicity.
The window dressing.
Yeah.
It's like going into a hardware store that looks like Tiffany's. You know? We're selling hammers and nails in here, but we're going to make the outside look like a diamond store.
Yeah.
So if I know your dad's listening.
I believe so.
I know he is. And I want the grade. I want to know as we talk about
why are we doing?
Because I think it's awesome. Because Johnson's dad's listening all the way out. Where is he at?
In Arlington, Texas.
In Lone Star, the Lone Star State. Because Coach Johnny Lone Star Johnson, that's your call sign. I got to know the grade. So as Tim transitions,
I will say this. I think just from personal experience, this is probably the best podcast, best show we've had.
I think so.
Right?
I mean, we're only going against 3.
But the energy was high, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I realize the bar is low. Okay. But, I mean, I'm trying to take a page from Dr. Kerry Donaldson over here.
I know.
And just be positive about what is going right.
100%.
So, you know.
Great quote. I love how you transition that. That was beautiful.
So, Tim, tell us what we got.
Okay, well, he said the Sergeant Major's interview was one of the best ever.
There you go.
Talked about his dad was a 20-year chief in the Navy, lived to be 102.
That's your granddad?
That's my papa, yeah. Okay. That's John Johnson Jr.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Said this man espouses all my dad lived for and how he lived his life after retirement. He was a special interview.
I'm going to take – hey, you know what that translates? That's an A+.
Hey, we're going to take that as a win.
I'm going to take that as a win.
We take those.
Well, in all seriousness, I did enjoy that interview.
I did too.
And Sergeant Major McCray is one of the most humble human beings.
He is.
He would never brag on himself, and he doesn't like us bragging on him.
He was so nervous.
He
had no idea what he was getting into.
Then he says,
that was fun.
That was fun as soon as he gets off air.
But, you know, we also had 2 young men, 2 seniors in high school who spoke very well and were emblematic of what their coach sitting next to them is trying to build and trying to create in them. And then, of course, we got Mr. Positivity himself over there, the show, Dr. Kerry Donaldson.
Well, and it's something that kind of ties all this together. He talked about, with Sergeant Major talking about teaching people to stand up and talk to people and present things and watching the transition in young people, how they get confidence. And you mentioned the way they walk and everything. Then you got the 2 young men that exemplify exactly what he was talking about, who weren't afraid to get on the mic, spoke well, and really had their heads screwed on straight when it comes to what leadership is. And then you got the actual leader of our school coming in and being Mr. Positivity and seeing the bright side.
And I'll say this about the 2 of you. Y'all do the same thing. I mean, I know we're talking about everybody else, but from a baseball and a softball perspective, you guys do the same thing. And I'm just telling you.
Well,
hey,
come on. I'm trying to throw y'all a bone. No,
you're right.
Seriously.
We're not going to brag on ourselves either.
No.
But I will say this. I've watched Coach Johnson do it through the hallways and certainly on the field. And I hope that I do something similar as these guys. I mean, that's why they are leaders in our school. And
I think one thing that Coach Kimbrough and I are not afraid to do is just talk to people.
Yeah.
No.
Like in the hallways, I make it a point every day to go through our front office and see the people at the front desk and see our bookkeepers.
Yes.
And when I see kids that I've either had in class who I barely knew them, you know what I mean? Like they were a kid that sat in my class and said nothing. Like, you just try to talk to people and I tell my son all the time, it pays just to be nice to people.
Oh my gosh, I've gotten jobs before just because having some manners, or that you're willing to. And year 3, our schedules started to sync up where we're meeting in the morning, so we're getting Coach Johnson and I kind of make a round through the morning and see those same people.
And somebody got really stupid and put our first blocks right next door to each other.
She might be listening. I don't know that you.
Miss Flanagan, we love you for that, by the way. We love floating next door to each other.
Our master scheduler. Yeah, if I could get a class next to Coach Johnson, I mean, I'll be better for that.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think we're going to have to end it right there.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guys, I just want to say thanks to all of our guests. As a reminder, you can go back online and download this if you want to hear it. It goes into the archive. If you're not listening live, then how would you know until somebody tells you? But it's in our archive.
It'll be posted. We'll post it.
Yeah, we'll post it, and then that way, tell your friends, everybody that this is going on. And again, I want to thank all of our guests, Coach Truitt, offensive coordinator for James Clemens High School football. Also to our permanent captains on the football team, the seniors, Tim Coleman and Cam Berry. Also want to thank Sergeant Major Samuel McCray. He was our RedHawk Top Flight Award winner. And also Dr. Kerry Donaldson for coming in, and the principal at James Clemens High School, and being a part of this final segment with us. And also congratulations once again to Clayton Sternberg. He was our Madison Golf Center Bucket and Bite winner. So, guys, that's a wrap, folks. It's another episode in the books. Hey, always remember that confidence is key, and every guy deserves a wingman. You can follow us on all of our social media accounts. Hey, please leave a review, and until next time, for Lone Star, for Homebrew, for Oz, and for Stretch, I'm your captain. Keep flying high. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for listening to The Wingmen. Check out the archives online at jcwingmen.net or on your favorite podcast platform. Your hosts have been Kirk Pierce, Coach Johnny Johnson, and Coach Brad Kimbrough. Theme music by Jordan Lambert and Sean Lovell. Join us again next time for The Wingmen. And go Jets.